Okay. Hey. Okay, so welcome everybody.
Thank you.
5th of September 2024. Today we are celebrating the life of Leonard D Orr, and today is the fifth year actually of his passing. And I can maybe just give a little bit of an introduction. Who was Leonard Orr? Maybe for me, and then other people can speak who was Leonard Orr to them. So first of all, a little bit about Leonard Orr's life. Leonard was born in a little town, Walton, New York. He talked a lot about that in his trainings, how he grew up in a little small town, and he felt in relationship to his mother that he was unwanted, and he had a very difficult birth, and so he always commented that's why he founded rebirthing breathwork, because he had such a challenging time with parental disapproval as well as his birth trauma. And when he grew up, he studied philosophy and religion, and he became a minister in different churches. He was actually active, not just a minister, but being active. And he was passionate about the idea that we can stay alive and that Jesus promises everlasting life. And so when he found rebirthing breathwork, the beginning of modern day breathwork, he felt that that was a tool to keep us healthy and alive. And so his main passion, his passion was to help people to stay alive and be well and happy while we are in this physical body. And so he did not make it, obviously, but that doesn't mean that his ideas were all wrong, just that there is challenges that we all have to face, and that it is a path. Good morning, Kimberly, and Artie is here. So we will go ahead and start sharing. And I have invited for this day some special guests and other people who will just drop in, and other people on Facebook are welcome to join either live here on the Zoom call, or maybe one of us could check on the Reba page if there's comments, because if you're on the Reba page, then you could just see if we have comments. So welcome again, everybody, and especially in the name of Leonard Orr. And I start with my first guest, and I'm very happy Norleen is here. Norleen, she actually met Leonard in a lecture in the early 1980s in Australia, in Sydney, Australia, and did her first breathwork training in 1984. And with Cheryl Selman, I don't know her personally, but you had wonderful experiences and started building the community in Australia with her. And then also you worked with Pauline Wynne and were a co-trainer with her, who trained many people in Australia. And you both invited Leonard also many times to Australia. And so I'm so happy you are here. And
Thank you.
my question to all of you, if you like to share, basically is, your experience with Leonard, because to me he was a very special person, but that's just one opinion, and I like to hear more opinions. And if you haven't met him in person, anyone here, what contribution his work has done in your life, like the rebirthing breath work, the spiritual purification, and all his ideas. So Norleen, again, so happy to have you here, and I would love to hear some of your time, about your time with Leonard, your experiences. Norleen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I made a list of things. It was
Right.
easy to do. Good to have the bring back all the memories. And so the first one, when I went to the lecture at Sydney University, I didn't realise who he was. I just went along to this lecture, and it was only later when I met him that I realised, and actually I can't remember much of the content of that lecture, but once Pauline and I were trained with Cheryl. Cheryl actually was really close to Leonard in the early days of rebirthing, and he was being asked to come to Australia, and of course he was being asked to go all around the world and couldn't do it, so he would send some of the people who'd been working the closest with him. And so Cheryl came to Australia, and she's very beautiful and started a great community, and we did her trainings with her and did support on her trainings, which was fabulous for many years. And then I subscribed to the newsletter that Leonard used to do, and realised that they had the Conscious Connection, yes, that's it. And realised that they had the Rebirthers Convention, the International Rebirthers Convention in July. So we went over in, I think it was 88, and spent a month at Campbell Hot Springs for that convention. And it absolutely just was so fabulous. It just expanded our rebirthing trainings and experience, being able to live the earth, air, water and fire in the forest, and do that for the 4 weeks, and bathe in the horse troughs in the paddocks and enjoy the forest. And then also, of course, meeting the international community was great as well, to hear different ideas on what everyone had been experiencing and the community. So that was a really fabulous time. And then, of course, we came home and included the elements, the fire, water, earth and air, more into our training, and tried to give that experience for our trainees. Which isn't always easy to do, to get the baths and the fire and everything happening, but we always were able to put that together for them to have that experience. So that was fantastic. But the funny thing is, the first thing when we arrived at Campbell Hot Springs, he just walked up to us and said, you guys have got to listen to my money tape every day. And so I did, and it's been invaluable for me. I used to copy and sell them, and I listened to them a lot, to the point back then I could recite them. I did listen every day, like he said, and it was very valuable. And whenever I had a money issue, or I thought I'm running out of money, I would go back to them.
Can you turn the microphone off? I think it's okay. I still
There's an input for the transfer problem. Yeah?
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
That's okay. So I really did use those money, listen to the money tapes. I did the affirmations, follow. There's a lot of information on there, and I've got a lot of value out of doing that. And they always worked when I applied myself to using them. So that was really, really great. And as you know, Leonard had amazing ideas on, I didn't always fully understand all the universal money systems and all his great ideas on that, but at that level of budgeting and managing finances and working out my own case, that was fantastic for using those. So I did listen every day, like he said, for a while, and then I'd go back to them. And Yeah, and then of course we were fortunate enough to have Leonard come to Australia. He was always really happy to come here, and that was great for us because Pauline and I always wanted our trainees to meet him and have the experience of him sharing his experiences and his talks and things like that. So as much as possible, we did it together, and then Pauline went on and brought him to Australia, which was just fabulous, and we could set up retreats where we had the fire and the water, and people had amazing experiences and of learning more about the elements and how it worked. And also one of the great things he'd do on those trainings was he would rebirth a client in front of us, and that was always just really moving. Just watching him work with the connection to spirit and to the client and gently working with their breath, that was just, priceless. Even I don't have words to explain watching him do that. It was just a really beautiful thing. And his gentleness and his connection to spirit, and in his knowingness and his presence there with the client, and guiding their breath gently was priceless to experience that. And it was great. He did it a few times for us, and that was really priceless. And from Leonard's teaching, we were able to build a great community with lifelong friends that really are connected, and they understand the processing and where we come from, and they have that understanding of the breath, which is just, great friendships and connections to have as well. I mean, it's been some time since I've been in that community, and a lot of people have travelled and spread, and it's kind of spread apart. But still, from that, I still have lifelong friends that were a part of that time. And we often, when we get together, we just say it was a fabulous time of life when the community was all together and really strong, how supportive we were. And that's something we learned from Leonard, really about being there for each other.
Right. For Leonard, spiritual community was one of the key pillars of transformation, because he always felt that we can't do it alone, because we also need the opposition, the other person, to challenge us and to bring our emotions in movement, and to be there for each other when we need help and support. And,
yes.
So spiritual community was spiritual enlightenment, spiritual purification, and spiritual community. Those were the three main pillars of strengths.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And it really, fabulous. And yes, and he just really instilled in us, and we instilled that into the community, and everyone was really responsive to that. And also for me, it was a huge addition to add the spiritual part to my life, the connection to Hurricane Babaji. And I've been able to go to Hurricane a few times. I went earlier this year for the Divine Mother Festival, and I just loved it. Yes, I loved it.
I came a few weeks later.
And just to have that in my life is, again, words can't explain having that spiritual connection there, and then being able to travel there and be at Hurricane with the temple and the water, the river, the fire they put in Babaji's room and by the tree, and to bathe in the river. And then, of course, when the Divine Mother Festival's on, to do the ceremonies that happen, and the fire. Then, of course, there's a fire ceremony as a part of that, which is absolutely wonderful. So, that connection. As soon as I heard about it, I felt that in my heart, and that connection has always stayed there for me. So, hopefully, I'm going to Chilianola at the end of September for the next Divine Mother Festival. Yes.
I might be in India in November.
Oh, okay. I'll be gone by then. Yeah, it starts on the 2nd of October. but yes, that has been huge in my life, to have that opening of connecting to the spirituality that that was offered through learning more about Babaji, and
Right.
and connecting there.
Yeah, Leonard felt it was his mission to inspire people with Babaji, and no matter how weird his ideas seemed to many people, it didn't stop him. He would just speak what he felt was his truth, and so he inspired so many people to go to Babaji. So you see Babaji, for anybody who doesn't know, Hedakan Babaji, he is there in the back. And he was in this body till 1984, and there's so many miraculous stories about him. He could read the minds of all people at all times and would respond to Leonard's thinking in the US. So he was always aware of what was going on with all of us, and he still is. So even so, he's not in that body any longer, but he is still his power and his presence. And Artie and I actually went to Hedakan this year in May together, so we can talk about that also later. So yeah, Leonard was a real inspiration, and he took people along on the path with him.
Yes, yeah. And I was also going to say, just having that philosophy of the 5 biggies was great to share that with people, because they're such great starting tools on being able to understand yourself and process yourself and just move deeper through your process and for your growth. And the simplicity of it makes it easier for people to understand and to begin to access and understand their lives more. So I loved all that. In the beginning, I loved all the philosophy more than the breathing. Now I like the breathing more than the philosophy, but it was just a real gift, and it was an easy way to communicate with people, and people really, explaining birth trauma, people could really relate and understand. And same with parental disapproval, and yes, and the death syndromes and things like that, people really understood, and it gave gateways for people really to open up and understand. And then, of course, the power of the breath, which stays with me today. It's such a powerful tool to use the breathing.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
maybe I expand a little bit on the biggies, because now we have actually 16. You were fortunate to have Leonard at the very beginning, I think, of the movement, and I only came in 91, so you were a few years already before me. And so first he had 5 biggies, and he called the biggies events, main events that trouble us, and experiences that we have that create possibly trauma in our life. And like you said, birth trauma, parental disapproval, the unconscious death urge, specific negatives, and then past lives. That were the original 5.
Yes.
Then he added school trauma, religion trauma, and then senility. And Leonard talked a lot about his senility process. He had different episodes, and they were basically everything that wasn't healed coming to the surface, and usually connected with the emotions of helplessness and hopelessness. And so he was always writing and talking about his senility process. And then they added, Fanny van Leer suggested the suppression of the feminine. And then Leonard added then the misuse of the masculine, or the world savior syndrome. And then the sexual abuse, to make that really a topic, so that people can freely express themselves, because it's the topic or the event that is most suppressed and shamed. And then we have the fear of strangers, food abuse, political apathy, EEP, and then we actually added, after Leonard's passing, grief, significant loss, because we were so involved in our own grieving process that we thought, wow, we all have so much grief collected during lifetimes, and so we made that another biggie. So Leonard basically packaged it so that we can, like you say, we can understand it better.
Yeah. Yes.
So the work is expanding and growing, and yeah. Any stories, anything special experiences that you had with Leonard about his, like his gentleness? You mentioned his gentleness. His name, his Indian given name was Makan Singh, which Makan is butter. So he was the lion, Singh, the butter lion. And
yes.
anything
yes.
you...
We had an amazing time out in the forest at Campbell Hot Springs. He used to, we'd go and meet out there at lunchtime, and he would do his lecture for the day. And one day he came out singing and chanting, and he'd made Jai Mahamayaki a chant, and he came along singing it because he'd met this opera singer, I think in Italy, and he asked him to put a tune, and so he was singing this in an operatic way, the Jai Mahamayaki Jai, and it was just fabulous.
Mahamayaki, Jai Mahamayaki. Yeah, I remember in Timon in Germany, he had all us timid Germans stand up, and we had to each one singly sing this song.
That was funny because he's walking through the forest singing it like you just did, and yeah, that was so great, so he'd just really do spontaneous things. And when we were down in Chico once doing the the free rebirths for the community down there, he went and bought this huge container of ice cream, and we all passed it around the circle, the sharing circle, and everyone took a scoop, and it went round a few times. And so he used to do really spontaneous things, really childlike, but really loving and kind. Yes. And he loved his ice cream.
Yeah, that was not necessarily the most healthy thing, but he was the ice cream king. And everybody, I think all of us who traveled with him have experiences with ice cream, where we went from one ice cream shop to the next.
Yes. But I mean, I had to acknowledge his incredible discipline with his diet, and, like ice cream aside and the joke aside when he shared that with us, but, he had incredible discipline with his diet and his fasting and his food. Yes, it was fabulous. Yes. Oh, yes, I lived in awe of that, even of, his discipline with his food.
Yeah. One time he did a fast on 87 days, only liquids. Babaji gave him that fast, and he said that he had to learn eating afterwards and digesting food again.
Yeah.
So, he had done incredible fasts.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And just his ability to read all the spiritual texts, and the religious text, like his library. He took us into his house in at Campbell Hot Springs, the little cottage where he lived back in the day with Katrina, and his library was just incredible. The spiritual texts that he had, and his ability to read them, and and share that information. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, he was always contemplating on the deepest level about the meaning or the experience of life that we all go through, and how to master life, or how to be fully alive in that. And at the same time having that philosophical philosophical, I can't pronounce the word in English, that understanding.
Yes, yes.
The depths of and the understanding of it. Great.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. That's my main Thanks.
Okay, if you later want to share anything, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Maybe I'm now going to talk to Joanne. Hi, Silke. Welcome here. Silke is from Tenerife. But Joanne has a little challenge because she is in Tasmania and they have a problem with the internet. So Joanne also has been a rebirther, I think, before me. And she did many trainings with Leonard as well in Australia. And she is now actually a board member of REBA, Rebirth International Breathwork Association, together with me, Sarah Dawn, and Peace Virginia Arnold, who will be there at the meeting tonight at 6 o'clock, our second English meeting, and then Armando Sanchez and Irene Jovi-Baumann. I don't know if Irene will be there tonight, but they have a Spanish meeting at 8 p.m. And then we have a German meeting at 1 p.m. all Central European time. So, Joanne, would you like to share anything with us? The Joanne's thought is that she might disappear if she puts the camera on, so that's the only reason why today.
I want to thank Lane for coming along.
We can barely hear you.
Because it really brought back beautiful. I've got very little.
We cannot really understand. What I understand is it brought back a lot of emotions.
Thread. See if I can change that. Is that better? Can you hear me
better,
now?
yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, that's better. Oops. Now she disappeared, I think. Okay, well, there she is again. Joanne, are you back?
I think I am. For how long?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that's too bad. The sound is still not really to understand.
Can you hear me now?
Not so good, no.
Perhaps you get, yeah, let's just go on to someone else.
Okay, well, I continue with Arti, if that's okay. Arti Saxena is living in Rishikesh. And actually Annie from Australia and we got stuck in Rishikesh in the lockdowns. And we, as Annie, always loves rebirthing people, just like me, but she was very dedicated and we just kept training. And Arti has a community. She takes care or she inspires rural women in around Rishikesh. And she actually teaches them, or she gives them rebirthing sessions. She teaches them skills to make a business. And so And as I said, we went to Herakan just this May. So anything you like to share with us about your experience about rebirthing or the teachings of Leonard, how they have inspired you?
First of all, namaste everyone and happy Teachers' Day. In India, today is a Teacher's Day. So happy Teachers' Day to all lovely teachers and Heike. So it's a very short time, like for me, you all like I'm only 4 years in this rebirthing, but it's really amazing. It's completely changed my life, and I met you and Aini, Karnas, like, and in meeting some other teachers also, and um, what I heard with for Leonard from you, I feel like very much connected. Like when you all talking about him, I visualize him like what's it happens in front of me. Like, and when I was with you in Hadakhan Ashram, Babaji's ashram in May, it's really amazing. Like we planned in last September also, but anyhow we didn't go. But this May, when I reached there and I met you and feel the energy of Babaji is there, it's really amazing. It's like no words. Properly, I can't say the proper words. What I feel, what energy I feel there. And that time from you, I know more about Leonard and his teachings methods, his loving and attentive to the students, like how he taking care of the students, not only the teachings, like their emotions, their so like a complete teacher to to guide their students. So it's really connecting with me. And I feel very blessed that I'm connected with your community and working with in this way. And when people like me also 4 years before what I am and what is the difference now I have feel, it's really completely changed my life when I took sessions with you and Annie, and then I'm starting working and giving to my community and some clients also. So it's every session is a new experience every time, and every time it's a like a new journey, new life. And when the small things like when I share with my community women like spiritual purification, EEP, and all and 20 connected breeds. Some small things completely change their behavior and their lifestyle also. Like this is the part of life. We know how to take bath. We know the fire, the havan and havan ceremony. We know to breathe, but not in the proper way. But when we learn in spiritual purification that what is EEP, why we feel heavy and how we can remove it, it's really make a change in our life. Like before we feel very depressed, very low, very lazy, but now we understand easily. Me also and my community women's also. And now they easily understand if we feel low, okay, we take bath in this way and we put some, do some fire and do breathing, 20 connected breaths, and they come out with that stress, with that like short trauma. Like if something happened, they know how to come out now. Like before, they are suffering for a long time with this all, but now they understand if something happened, immediately we can come out. So it's really make change in their life. And they also teach their kids, like you have to do this in this way. So it's really makes change. Kids also get more concentrated, more attentive, more obedient. So it's really beneficial. Thank you, Heike, for this all.
Wonderful. Yeah. So the concept of emotional energy pollution, the EEP, is basically that we are energy and we're exchanging energy, and the energy that we might pick up can be, like you say, heavy. There can be feelings of depression low low concentration and strengths. And then when we do purification practices, that was the second pillar, that we can do spiritual purification, we can release actually those heaviness that we accumulate in our chakras and in our physical system.
And
And the
also,
interesting thing is, it is part of the Indian culture, because that's where Leonard learned it. It is like the yogis all take a bath in the river twice a day, and the fire practices that are originated in India, and the mantra, which is another. Affirmations are forms of mantras, but the mantra actually is a thought, a high quality thought of the divine essence. And so all these practices are actually from India, and Leonard understood them so well. And then every time we went to India, it was like re-inspiring, reigniting the
Yes.
old knowledge. So India is like my home country, and so it was also for Leonard, spending probably many lifetimes in India and being immersed in that culture. So you're giving sessions to the women in your community?
yes, I'm giving them those women also and their kids also. And now some women also learn this very well, and they helping me to giving the session to sometimes when we have clients. So they are ready. Two women are ready to giving others also. Yes.
And there will be
Love to do
hopefully
this.
more soon.
Pardon?
There will be hopefully soon more,
More. Yeah.
because we are planning a training from the
4th
4th
of
November till the 24th of November in Rishikesh Sadan. So that's why I plan to go to India in November.
we have a good team now.
Great,
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah, you're building community, and you've been doing that before, and now you have even more of many more tools
Yeah.
to support people in an easy way, and also in an affordable way.
Mm. This is really, really changing them, their mindset, their lifestyle, both.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe I ask Silke, Frank, if you would like to share anything, or anybody. Vincent is here, I think you've shared, or Kimberly or Pauline. You are new. Kimberly and Pauline are just trained in July, but I think they're already very much inspired. So, but Silke, would you like to share anything?
Yes, of course.
A long time rebirther living on Tenerife, and
Yeah, I'm just preparing with Armando for the evening.
yes, she is actually exactly guiding or hosting the meeting tonight in Spanish.
Yeah, and it's quite exciting because we are looking for some video, little short, and they also have to be in Spanish, of course, with translation. And so it's also fun to get back to this trainings and his talks about well, immortality, of course, and sessions and everything. So it's always great to revisit. Yeah, and I spent time. I think the most important time was when I was in the States at his center for 6 weeks, cooking for people in exchange for being there. That was always the great thing, that if you didn't have the money, there was always a way you could attend and get his teachings and do rebirthing. So that is one of the things that I really appreciated. And what I also continue to do, so money is never an obstacle, but there should be like an energy exchange, right?
Which
So,
year
yeah,
which year you were in the US?
might be 2009 or 10. 2010 maybe. 2009, 10. I went there with Carlos Keval. You remember Carlos from Spain?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So he was also quite often with Leonard. Yeah, I remember in Germany he was doing the wood and the thing we were taking into the house. I remember this scene. Yeah, so I was just when I heard what was her name? Anna? No, the one from India.
Ati.
Arti. So about the how he guided students. So I remember that was always a little. Some people had problems with him not being all the time available for them, and like not being there, like their trauma with Papa and Mama, right? So it was always very activating, and I found that very interesting. And for me, was a big learning that I think he had a good balance to put himself also first. I think that is what we really need to learn, that as a breath worker, we need to put our energy first, take care of our energy, and then of the others, because if our energy is not good, if we don't have good energy, so what can we give, right? So I think it was really, really a good teacher. And I also connected with this tense trauma that came in the end, right? The savior. Like so many people are focused on saving others, and just in the end, they just want to be saved themselves, right? So I think that's a very important point, and maybe gets more important each day with the people. I have people who train just to give, and really need to always put the focus on their own healing. That is like the most important part. Yeah, so I have learned so much from him, and I'm always grateful for that. Will always be at service to him and to biology, of course.
Right, you frequently to Hedakan.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Silke. So I just invite anybody who would like to share something about their experiences with the breath work or with the spiritual purification or your experiences. You want to talk, Anna? Okay, Anna. Anna is
Yes.
also a breath worker. She did the 3-week training not last year, the year before, right? Okay, what would you like to share
Sorry
with
if
us?
there's some noise. I'm just and don't have a sterile private place now with the internet, so sorry in advance. Anyway, what I wanted to share regarding what you were talking, that I'm now in North India in a village called Vashisht, and one of the nice things here that they have hot natural baths springs. And like, except for me loving going there every morning and every evening, this place is like really known within the travelers, always talking about the really nice energy that there is in this place, and something very calm. And only now I'm connecting it with the baths and the fact that all the people who live here, all the villagers, and even from the villages around, they just come here to soak, to talk to each other. And so nice to see this community gathering around energetic purification, and you can really feel it. It's really nice.
Yes, so that's why in the trainings I always insist people do take a shower at least, or a bath, before coming to any meeting, because it just changes the energy of everybody. It is like we are washing all the processing that we did during our dream time, and the learnings that and the teachings that we received, and we are just washing our energy free of the processes. So, and then we can start being fully alive and present in the physical reality. Thank you, Anna. you like to share anybody about rebirthing other people? Anything that you would like to share? Joanne, do you think your microphone will be better now, or you think it is still the same? Do you want to try again? Joanne didn't hear me probably.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Oh, it's so sad. You have so many
Hello?
beautiful
No.
things to offer and to share. So, okay. Okay, who else would like to share? Kimberly, okay, go ahead.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm in London at the moment. My sister just gave birth to a baby girl 2 weeks ago.
Woo!
So that's really exciting.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I did the training with Heike in July, and it's just completely changed my life. I've done so many trainings in the past with different healing modalities like emotional freedom technique, shamanic training, shamanic healing, and lots of different other modalities. But for me, the breath has just been so powerful, and it's just so empowering that you can just lie down anywhere and just breathe and shift and move anything. I suffered a lot in the past with anxiety and depression, a lot of trauma, like I'm sure we've all experienced. And every day now I wake up and I breathe for an hour, and it just helps me get through anything. And giving sessions for me is the most rewarding feeling, watching people connect with their higher power and just being delivered through the breath. And all we are is the guides that allow that to happen. You know, we can't take any credit in any way, you know, not healing anyone. We are facilitating a space for them to connect with God, their higher power, to deliver that. And I just think that's the most beautiful thing in the world. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to Leonard. I haven't met him in this lifetime, but I know that we've worked together previously for sure, as I'm sure most of us have done here. And that's why we're here spreading this medicine at this time, because everyone needs it. And I really do think that it's all in the breath. So yeah, I just look forward to traveling around the world, spreading the medicine, and just to know that I've got that tool in my box is wonderful and the most freeing and empowering thing. So, and Heike is wonderful. She's just amazing. And it was so wonderful to train with her. I did a lot of research before I wanted to, you know, commit to a course, because there's a lot of courses out there, but this one was definitely the right one for me, rebirthing. And I made some wonderful friends. So thank you, Leonard.
Yes, Leonard was my teacher, so he made sure that my ego crumbles to the most possible way, so that I can be just a loving presence. He always used to comment in the earlier years on my Germanness or the German harshness, because he also had his mother was German, so he knew the challenges of the German culture and how we are brought up and all this. And so it is important that we leave.
All right, I'll see you in a minute. I'm just finishing this.
You have okay. Okay, I can cut that. So yes, so the training, we have expanded the training a little bit. Leonard always was doing the 9 days, and he was always hoping that people would come back. And we at the Reba, we thought it is, and he used to do the 3-week training. So most people have done 3 weeks coming to the US with him, and the 3-week just gives us more time to integrate and to have more topics, more variety of approaches, how we can support other people. And so now I'm only doing the 3 weeks, and I must say I'm totally blessed with all these wonderful people that you can see here, that I was blessed to train. So I've trained about 50 rebirthers. Even COVID didn't stop me. And like with Annie in India, and we just kept training people. So anybody? Frank was here in between, and Vincent, I think you've been on another call and shared. Pauline, anybody who would like to share? Pauline?
I hope it's working. I don't know. Hello,
Yes,
everyone.
we can hear you.
Hello, hello. I mean, Artie said she's not for so long time with Leonard or with the rebirth thing, but same as Kimberly, I started the training this July, so I'm very, very fresh to all of this. But yeah, I'm so grateful to join this course and to keep going with rebirthing and to practice. I'm so grateful for this 3 weeks, which were really intense, and I still feel I have to digest it a little bit because there was so much going on, and probably we all know what did it bring for us. And also right now I'm quite moving around, so it's difficult for me to find or to do a lot of sessions or even find the time to breathe for my own, and I feel this is really important. But yeah, as we said, spiritual purification is running daily on a daily basis. Somehow when I feel not very well or overwhelmed, or I was in a big crowd, I really feel the need to spend time with fire or to take a shower afterwards. And I do daily showers in the morning and in the evening, which are so great. This changed so much, and do every day the 20 connected breath. And I'm so grateful for this knowledge, for Leonard found out, and for sure speaking through Heike in this also partly in this 3 weeks, and Heike's knowledge and wisdom and went over to us, and I hope that I can spread it further, and feeling the spirit, the energy moving through myself, the divinity in myself. This was everything what I experienced first, like very physically in rebirthing, and this is a feeling I've never had before, and I really see so much truth in this. And I want to go further and further, and to I have still my books here from the training, where so many things are where I want to go deeper. So it needs time. I have time, hopefully, and I'm super grateful for this community that we can exchange. And thank you, Heike. Thank you,
Pauline. Okay, wonderful. I hope you will be there also in the German meeting at 1.
I don't know yet, actually, but let's see.
Okay, great. I think Frank is ready to say something. Is that correct? Yes, okay. Frank Lohman from the Netherlands, and he's done many trainings with Leonard, and
Well,
had
it's
a lot of fun in life. So
it's pronounced lumen, like the lu.
lumen.
Lumen. Yeah.
Hey,
Okay, so I keep it short. In 2008, I met this guy.
Babaji.
Yes. And it was my first training with Leonard in Belgium. And that training changed my life for at least 3 weeks. Heike was talking about the, how do you call these things? The biggies, right? The 5 biggies. But now they have extended to 16, I think, or something, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still stuck in these things way too much. But when Babaji came into my body, Leonard gave me a session in that first training I ever did with him. I never met him before. And he started a session with me. I will keep the story short. And after starting the session for 5 minutes, Leonard left the room. I thought, shit, finally I get, a session from him. And then he leaves me, but a wonderful assistant was there to support me. And after a while, there was, I could see in my third eye that there was a big ball of light appearing on top of my body. And I felt in my truth that we should turn the ball. And it was an invisible ball for the naked eye, right? And when we turned the ball, me and the assistant, a beam of light came out of this ball into my body. And, you know, the session took 7 hours instead of an hour or 2. But it felt like 2 hours. And to keep the long story hopefully a bit shorter, after that beam of light got into my body, I saw light coming out of my fingers and my arms and stuff. And basically, I was enlightened for 3 weeks after that session. And what I could see and do in those 3 weeks was just out of this world. It was just unbelievable. And I will never, ever, ever, ever forget it. And I'm eternally grateful for Leonard to put rebirthing into the world. And I did his training, the 9-day training, 7 years in a row until he died, unfortunately. And well, a little bit before that, I stopped the sessions, but the trainings. But to keep a long story short, I now have issues being in this life because I know, and I know, of course, many other people have the same experiences, but I know from experience now that this life with the 16 or even more human condition, the human condition is something that I want to escape now, because I've seen the light, I've seen what is possible when you transcend those human conditions. And so and now I sense in myself a conflict many times. Why should I process all these human conditions time after time after time if I know from experience that a completely different state of being is possible? And that has become my goal for myself, and to help people in the future to embody the light, or you can call it God or source or whatever resonates with you, the word. That is my goal now, to embody that light and help other people to do the same, but I'm not there yet.
While you're in the physical body.
Say that again, please.
While you are in the physical body, to embody that light. Now, like you had that in the 3 weeks when you were and you felt enlightened.
Yeah.
Or do you think you have to leave the body to feel that again?
No, I don't want to leave the body to feel it again. I want to incorporate it in my body, to be it. Otherwise, I can only experience it, but not be it. So I want to have that life where I can be the light, but that's not so easy. And I believe that's what I've learned from Babaji. The work I do now is light work, and not so much anymore breath work, but maybe I will step into this. That's one of the reasons I'm joining this great Zoom today, to reconnect with breath work, I guess. But now I do mostly therapeutic light work, meaning I work directly with Babaji through channeling. That helps me very much. However, I might miss the breath work now because that's also very much, connected with the body, obviously. So maybe I need a combination and I need the breath work back. I'm not sure yet.
Well, Leonard used to say that it's like a car that has 4 wheels, and
Right.
so the driver is the consciousness, so that's one aspect also, but then there is the elements that keep the car running. And he used to say we don't get very far if we're just using one, if we only have one wheel on the car. And so the physical body needs a balance. It needs a balance in nutrition and exercise, which is the earth element. So we need to feel physically in the body that it's moving and acting and capable of real physical presence and grounding. And then we need the fire to cleanse the chakras and the energy and stimulate the digestive fire and the fire in the cellular level. And then the breath bringing not just oxygen, but prana into the body. And then, of course, the water, which cleanses and washes away the impurities out of the aura. So there is that's what I loved about Leonard. There is not just one practice, one technique. He was open to investigate all the practices, and they usually fit in the categories of the elements and then the consciousness. And so there is no wrong or right. It is just finding the balance and scientifically checking out, is the body responsive or is the body decaying. So we have to really have a reality check. Is our body, are we doing enough so that the body is functioning well? And so, and especially when we get older, then there is all these programs that that help deteriorate the body, and we have to counteract this energy even more. So it takes more consciousness, and if we don't make it in one lifetime, we will have another chance. So death is not the enemy, death is just the break. And so Leonard is on a little break, rethinking and then planning the next incarnation where he can live that light more in the physical presence again. So it's all learning opportunity. And Babaji used to say there is no learning without a body. Like you say, you have to be it. You can only be it. And that's the path of human life. We have to learn through reincarnation or staying physically well and present. And the more we do that, the more we embody the light.
Yes. Amen.
And so we are all on the path, and if it's okay if we need a break, then the physical body to leave it. But it is wonderful to think what we can accomplish if we live longer and regain more wisdom and power and love. And that's what I see in the community, that love and wisdom is something that grows, that we have to develop. And I've seen a lot of love and wisdom now in young people too. And that's why I'm so thrilled here with all my beautiful young new rebirthers, because yeah, there's lots of beautiful souls on this planet that are making a difference. And Leonard was a great inspiration, and that's why we love to honor his teachings and his legacy, because he inspired so many people. And just his presence, yes, was just an opportunity to tune into spirit. Frank?
Yes, I completely connect with everything you say. But I would like to share one little thing, an inspiration that I got out of Leonard was the physical immortality teachings. First time I met him and he was talking about these things, I thought he was completely insane to talk about these things. And the death urge was also something that I thought, what is this all about? But of course, it's completely connected with the physical immortality. But the more I did the trainings, the more it got into me, right? So it was cracking also my ego, you know. And now, for the first time this year, I, with a female friend of me, gave a workshop about physical immortality. So I've come quite a long way to be able to actually get that this is actually the reality, that we don't have to die. And that's just amazing what is all behind it about the physical immortality. It's just fantastic to delve into this material, yeah. I think.
Thank you. And I'm writing my book again. I'm writing on the book that I'm writing since 20 years. And I found I have lots of little papers that I collected over the years with notes and everything. And I found a reading that Chastaji in India gave to me. And basically, he said that physical immortality is not just something that happens just because you think you believe it for one moment and it will happen. It takes real dedication and it takes real practice, and it takes intention, and it takes commitment. And so. But if we work on it now, it will always benefit us for the future. Even if we don't see the completion of it, there is no completion actually. But everything that we do right now will influence and make the future brighter and more conscious. So we could say, okay, that's unrealistic to believe in physical immortality. And Leonard believed in it. He laughed about death till his last conscious moment. So it sets the tune also for the future. So whatever the physical reality is, the challenges that we have, it is a statement. It is a statement of aliveness. It's a statement of loving life. And that's the important thing, and that I love life here and now. And that is the underlying law by which I live my life. And we don't have to be blind to the reality of the physical condition that we are in, but we can affirm that this is temporary and that we can master this. So that was Leonard's inspiration, and he would never falter from that belief. You know, he would always go for what he felt was the truth of his life assumption. And so that was the biggest inspiration, his dedication and his discipline. And Nolene said that about his food discipline and the practices with the fasting and sitting with the fire and really being dedicated to his aliveness. And through his self-love, also inspiring then other people to love themselves. Yes, anybody else who would like to share anything? Nolene, you thought of anything else that you would like to share?
Nothing coming to mind. I've just really enjoyed everyone's sharings. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, let's see who else. Anybody who would like to share anything else? So today we will have 3 more meetings. Like Silke was here, she shared about the Spanish meeting. So even if you might not speak Spanish, but they might have some clips and videos of Leonard, and then that's Armando Sanchez and Silke Moderson. And then we have at 6 p.m. another English one, because Sarah is hopefully still sleeping, and Peace is in the US for the US time. Then probably Norleen and Artie will be sleeping. Sarah just posted a video on on Facebook, so maybe she's up. But so that will be another English meeting. And we will be sharing then, because we just went on a tour together. I spent 1 month first in Sarah's, Jesus's, and Adama's house in Oregon, where I wrote mostly. I was writing on my book. And then we met with Peace Virginia Arnold in Stanton. And we were actually blessed to visit Leonard's house and have a tour. I went to my Dooney I stayed in. And well, we had a beautiful time together for 5 days, walking old tracks, and me visiting my motorcycle, and visiting lots of friends that I have there. So we went on this beautiful reunion in Stanton, Virginia, and we will share more about that tonight at 6 p.m. And then we have a meeting at 1 p.m. in German. So thank you, Leonard, for all the inspiration to, I think, to humanity, because he is the father of modern breath work. Many of his ideas are coming in many different ways, and just him being truthful to Babaji, totally dedicated to Babaji, and he felt that he had to keep the training going. Instead of going into his retreats, he felt committed to teaching humanity tools to live a happy life. And we are eternally grateful to him, and of course to our community. And I'm saying thank you in the name of RIBA, Rebirth International Breathwork Association. And maybe some of you I see tonight at 6 p.m. or at 1 p.m. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, anybody who was watching on Facebook. And I will finish the meeting now. Oh, let's do the 20 connected breaths. We haven't done the 20 connected breaths. So 4 short breaths, 1 long one, 4 times. Through the nose, in and out through the nose. Connected breathing, meaning we are inhaling, exhaling without a pause. Let's do that together. If you felt a bit dizzy, that's okay. If you feel the energy, the tingles, the vibration in your hands, in your feet, in your head, wonderful. We moved prana, we moved energy in our body. And I finish the meeting with Om Namah Shivaya. We
Om
are
Namah Shivaya.
in eternal energy. Om, we are the eternal intelligence, everlasting, ever present, infinite intelligence, Shivaya, and we are infinite manifestation, Namaha. And the other translation, a more simple translation, is God, your will be done. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank
Om
you for
Namah
being
Shivaya.
here.
Thank you.
And see you soon. And on the 15th of November, we celebrate Leonard's birthday with the Physical Immortality Day. So then that is another opportunity to share our thoughts about the most challenging belief that Leonard spread through the Western world. And Om Namah Shivaya, and have a beautiful, blessed day and a beautiful, happy life. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om
Bye.
Namah Shivaya.
See you all soon.
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye.